Good morning, friends. I thought today for our Friday chat, I would tell you guys a little story. Do you want to hear a little story? Let's go out into the greenhouse. I've got my tea. It's super cold lately. The ground is still frozen. I'm just wearing my tennis shoes because it's so frozen out here. The animals are being a little bit crazy today. And Bird, who we separated, is so naughty. You see her? She jumped over the fence. We cannot keep her in. She wants to be with her mom. They're best buds. Fortunately, that's not a problem except for the fact that she technically can jump over into Chico's pen. So there you have it. Okay, it's not actually that warm in this greenhouse. It's like 50. That's all right. We'll take it. We'll take it. There we go. How's that? So, today I thought I would tell you guys a story about how we came to be on this farm of ours, and the topic for today is hope. And the reason I'm telling you the story, which is kind of a difficult story for me to tell, is not for sympathy or any other reason than to bring you hope. So I'm gonna sit here and drink my tea, and I'm gonna tell you this little story, and I'll post some pictures here. I'll put them up on the screen for you guys. I usually ponder the topic for Friday, just pray about it and think about it. And most of the time I don't get the idea. Sometimes I get the idea like I already know on Monday what I'm going to talk about on Friday, and I just have the whole week to think about it. But a lot of times, like today, I actually got this idea in the middle of the night when my children were getting up multiple times last night. They kept coming in and saying, "Mom, I can't sleep." We just go through those phases. Do your guys' family go through those phases too? Oh, no sleep weeks. That's tough, especially considering we have the time change going on tomorrow. So I know right now the world is seeming pretty bleak and dark, and prices are on the rise. I mean, there's just all kinds of things going on. And it can be really easy in this kind of an atmosphere to get really discouraged and down. And I know personally that has been kind of one of these weeks for me. And I don't like to stay in that place though. I like to get out of that place of despair or hopelessness as fast as possible. And I'm usually pretty successful. And it's not because of anything that I have done. It's not because I have some secret. It's because of the story I'm about to share with you guys. It's because of the things that I have been through in my life. And so I married my high school sweetheart. We were, I was 15 and he was 17 when we met. We both went to different schools. We're both local to North Idaho. But going to different schools, we just never saw each other until we both went to the same youth group. And anyway, we pretty quickly fell for each other. I had a hot temper, and he was just like this streamlined guy who totally was able to chill me out. And I grew up in a really rough home, and he brought me into his family. And it was really like a falling in love with their whole family, not just with him. And they taught me what love is. They taught me that God is not just this big angry guy in the clouds who's waiting to, strike you with a lightning bolt at any second. And I had really not ever experienced that before their family. So anyway, we got married pretty young. We got married when I was 18 and he was 20. And we just decided to do life together. I already had known forever that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and so we didn't do the normal college thing, and we just lived our life together. We were super happy, and we were way in love, and just figured we would have children and do the thing that everybody does. You know, the kids would go to public school. We would just live our life. Like, that's what everybody does. Pardon the chickens in the background. They're so fussy lately. Silly chickens. So that's not really what happened, though. Life had a different plan for us. So we didn't go to normal college or anything like that. We found our passions just through living life, and we lived it together, and we struggled to get pregnant, so it took us a really long time to start our family. But obviously God had a plan, and we have a little family now, and all of it worked out, and it was just fine. And we were really just trucking along just fine until one year when Micah got injured at a job, and that's kind of the start of a lot of really hard things for us. Besides the whole infertility stuff, like that's totally separate to me, but really I feel like we started being molded and shaped by life. And so first he ended up having multiple surgeries on a tendon in his elbow, and we went through all of that, and then he ended up in a cast for the whole summer. And the week he got his cast off, he was involved in a terrible motorcycle accident. So at the time, no one knew. We didn't know what to do. We knew he was gonna live, and, you know, of course, you're in and out of the hospital and physical therapy appointments and all of those things, and just dealing with the physical aspects of a very gnarly motorcycle accident. And at the time that he was in the hospital, one of my very good friends, God really put it on my heart. I was actually pregnant with our second son at this time, and he told me to go to their house and go rest and sleep at their house while Micah was in the hospital. I really, like, after, I don't know, 3 days or something of not leaving the hospital, that I needed to go. And I honestly laughed at God. I was like, seriously, you want me to go to this friend's house? Like, they're just loud people. Their house is full of joy and laughter and loudness. And so I was like, I just kept feeling like, no, you have to go to their house. So when I went to their house, my friend looked at me and said, God's in this. God has a purpose in this. And I definitely did not receive that at that time. I was totally like, whatever, that's nice. That's whatever. How could this be God? But I felt it in my spirit. I felt that, no, it was true. And so I just kind of left that there, and I did. I slept really good at their house. It was amazing for, I think, the last couple of nights that he was in the hospital. And anyway, so we went through all of that. Well, we, through the months of going through all of this motorcycle accident stuff, it was really challenging. It's been 7.5 years now since that accident, and it still is a challenge. It still affects our life daily. But one of the biggest challenges was that Micah sustained a head injury. He got hit really hard right here. So he was wearing a helmet, but he got smashed in the head. And so even though he broke like a whole bunch of bones and all the things like that, that really wasn't a big deal. Like, all of those bones healed. Some of them still give him fits, but for the most part, like, all of that stuff is done. But it's really he does live in chronic pain, and I don't mean to minimize that by any means. But the head injury part was not really covered by the hospital staff. They didn't prepare us. They didn't prepare me. They didn't really even focus on that at all. We kind of discovered it on our own. And then through talking to several counselors over the years and things like that, like what happened was that it totally changed his personality and he became a new person. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have dealt with that. I would love for you to leave me a comment. And just know I'm here for you. It's not easy, and I completely understand that. Like the person that I married he's just very different now, and I know he's not gonna mind me sharing any of this. You guys, he's totally on board with this. So anyway, over the years, I have very much had to rely on God for everything. I have had to be in this place of, nope, God's gonna take care of us. Nope, God's gonna take care of us. And one of the things, we have gone through moments where we did not have food to put on the table and clothes to put on our children, and we still occasionally go through bouts like that. And so before all of this had happened, God had already laid on my heart having property and building a farm, and especially the garden aspect of things. And I guess when you have a big garden, you just sort of, end up needing animals as well. But he lined it all out. God lined it all out for us so that we would be taken care of through this season. You guys, God gave me this house, not because I had a college degree, not because I had some fancy career, not because I even deserved it or earned it by any means, but he gave me this house right here as a physical reminder over the last 7.5 years of my life that he is there and that he's got us, and he's got me and my family. And I just want you guys to know that he is waiting. He's ready to do that for you too. This isn't because somehow my family and I are just special or handpicked or anything like that. Every single one of us, you're handpicked. So I know that as we're all in this crazy time together, I mean, goodness, it's been 2 years now, right? 2 years of total crazy. And, for me, and I'm sure you guys are in the same boat, life was already crazy before the crazy happened, right? Like that's why it was so hard. That's why it still remains so hard. But we have hope. We have hope in the fact that we have someone who is waiting to give us a daily reminder that we're not alone, that he is our provider. He will take care of us no matter what. And I know that sometimes it's not easy to remember that. It's not easy in the daily struggles when we have so many needs popping up, and the days where, or even weeks where it seems like you just keep getting knocked down and you get up and you remember, no, he's there for me. And then you get knocked down again and again and again and again, or waves of financial crisis or whatever. But I just want to give you guys hope today that it doesn't change the fact that he's working all of these things, all of these crazy things, even a crazy motorcycle accident, for our good. I'm sharing this with you guys to bring you hope, to bring you peace. And this may not seem like it has to do with homesteading, but it so does. No matter how hard things may seem, and I know things get really, really tough. Even for us this week, I'm saying this message and I'm speaking this message not just to you guys, but also to myself. This is a tough week. And it's okay. I know that even though I don't know the answers and I can't see how he's going to do it, I know that God is going to take care of our family. And maybe you don't believe in God. Maybe you were hurt by some kind of religious establishment. Maybe you are like Esther, you are full of baloney, and that's not true. God's not going to do that for me. Well, I am happy to have that conversation with you. And it's okay. I'm not telling you have to believe in God. I'm not telling you that what you believe in is wrong. I am not telling you to go to church. I am just telling you that I have lived my life, especially the last 7.5 years, day by day, step by step, sometimes minute by minute, just saying, God, where are you? Help, God, I need your help. Every single time I have cried out, every single time, he's come through for me. And that is simply my testimony. That is simply the life that I have lived. And I have a physical home that has allowed me to stand on that faith, even in the worst days, on the worst stormy nights, when I just was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. At least I could say, well, there is a roof over my head that I don't deserve, that God set up and made a way. He made it happen. So I hope, I haven't even drank my tea. I really hope that this brings you guys peace and encouragement today. I hope that you guys can find God in the storm. And if you have any questions, I would love to answer them. Leave them in the comments for me. Hi, honey. I really appreciate you guys. I'm so excited. We hit 300 subs last night. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. I am not trying to go crazy religious lady on you. I promise you, don't get me wrong. I love Jesus. Absolutely through and through. God is my best friend. He's been my provider and everything else in between you can ever imagine. That's what he's been there for me. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. I just wanted to share the way that I live with him. No, it's not your typical. It's not your normal. And that's okay. I don't really do very many things the normal way. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me today. I really, truly hope that you feel the hope today. I hope to see you guys again next week. Thanks for joining me.